back so that way it will hang completely straight. Now, itself, and I want to make sure to walk my hand with the ruler so that way I'm not holding my hand back here and the ruler is bobbing up and down and has the opportunity to go off the paper. Okay, so I kind of switched and I went to plan B. And what I'm doing for my plan B is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fill in this up through here and back around here because I still want to get that nice texture with this here. And then what I think I'm going to do is then I'm going to head that way towards the end rather than starting at the edge of the quilt over here and heading this way. Now we're getting up a way, so I think I'm going to add a few little bit of decorative feathers. Echo back around, fill in that area. Start widening my echo just a little bit. So now again, I am going to go ahead at this point and simply fill the throat space that I'm in down to where the actual figures are. Okay, so let me pause there. Let's get a wide shot on this. Okay, so now I'm going to work my way from here back a little ways, and then again what I'll do is I'll come forward and move up, and we'll fill in all of this. This is about my throat space. And then here, as we get over here, because I know watching all of this is like watching paint dry. So as we get over here into the darker area, I'm going to change thread colors again. We're going to go a little bit darker. And then same thing, we're going to add this and make it just a little bit bigger towards the back area because they're riding towards us this way. And that's where we'll go. And then the next part will be the next row where I actually go in, and I want to make sure to show you how I'm doing a lot of the ditch work inside the actual figures and the horses. Okay, so now I have done the previous roll as well as the filler. So now what I'm going to do over here, I stop my filler here. So I'm going to do the outside of the horse here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come in and we're going to go right over here. And then I'm going to go ahead and ditch around here. Anything that's background, I'm going to ditch around so that way I have this throat space stabilized. And I'll do that all the way over and down. And same thing over here around these. Like I said, around here, and then what I'll do is I'll switch to the invisible thread and I'll go inside and I will go ahead and ditch all of the applique with invisible thread. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead, we're going to ditch around here, and normally I would have my ditch ruler here because I am right-handed, but for filming I'm going to put it on this side so you get a better shot of what I'm doing. And again, right now what I have is I have 12 stitches per inch. Let me double check that just to make sure. It is 12 stitches per inch. I am on a slow stitch regulator, so even when I come to a stop, it's going to give me a nice crisp point as I turn a corner. And I'm going to come down here now, go around that curve to the sword. Now I'm going to head up the edge of that sword. And I'm not going to go out and do the fill until I finish with this ditch work and all the ditch work that's in the actual Valkyries. Okay, so now I'm simply going to lock those stitches, and I think I'm just going to drag. So I'm going to do my needle up, loosen my thread just a little, go over to the other side, lock my stitches where I ended off there on the previous roll. Now I'm going to head down. And again, because there's a dark outline outside of that spear, I'm actually going to err to the background rather than go into that dark area. And I'm just pivoting my ruler a little bit rather than getting a small curve. Okay, and again, I'm not going to come down here. I'm going to stay on the outside. I'm simply stabilizing the outside of the horses and the Valkyrie before I go in with the invisible thread to do all the inner work. I'm going to come down, follow that in. Okay, and I will take a second here. Come down as far as my throat space will allow. Go up, and I'm actually right here when I do that background fill, I'm going to actually switch to like a yellowish thread right here rather than the pink. So I'm going to go up here near the pink, and then I'm just going to do a little bit of slide over with some filler to here so that I can go ahead and ditch there. Okay. Okay, I'm going to switch rulers. Give myself a little bit more control with the mini. Lock my stitches. Again, I'm going about 4 or 5 stitches forward and then 5 stitches back, but it's in the space of about 2 stitches. Pull away. Okay, so now we have the center stabilized. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to cut away my drag top, so then I'll only have to trim my underneath drag thread. Now I'm going to slide over to the left. And I'm going to ditch right over here. Start up at the schnoz, come down and over. Follow that curvature. And again, I am using the matching pale pink thread that is the background. And again, even though it's not a straight line, I just pivot my ditcher for light curvature. Usually I know that people, when they first get their machines, they don't realize that you can do stuff like that until a little later on. Okay, now I'm going to lock my stitches, and then I'm going to go over to the other side, and then I'm going to repeat the same thing on the right side far because the middle's done. And then I will come in with the invisible. So now I'm going to go in this little section and complete that. Again, I'll use my ditcher on the wrong side of the foot. So you can get a better visual. Come down. And let me just glance at that for a second. Get my bearings. Okay, now we're going to head back up, go around the horse's mane. And it doesn't take that long to get comfortable using your ruler like this and learning to curve and follow things other than straight lines. Takes a little practice, but it's pretty quick once you do it a little bit. Okay, now we're going to do our tie off.